Yes, y'all. Welcome into episode 69 of the Dumb Marks podcast, your favorite Saturday brunch bunch. Back in the groove, best four-man booth in the business. Back at it again.
Morning.
Good morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Coffee, perp, and I guess your show. There you go. That's a way to start off the day right there. That's a pretty good wake-up plan. Breakfast of champions right there. I got coffee, no perp, so that maybe have to be later on in the day. But welcome in everybody. Busy week for us. Dumb Marks ventured outside of the original show here and did some additional podcasts this week. So I want to give a shout out and a thanks again to the Pro Wrestling Podcast, in my opinion, for having us on to discuss some wrestling. A little debate format. Got our Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman first take groove on there, and then shout out to the Call Up Podcast for having us on to break down everything Cobra Kai. So getting into our entertainment bag as well. So busy week for us. We had the roundtable last night for Marvel. If you weren't able to catch that live last night, head over to our YouTube channel. You can watch the replay of that video. Broke down everything that was the year in Marvel for 2021, deep dive into some Spider-Man No Way Home talk, and then gave some predictions and looks as to what's to come in the upcoming year this year for Marvel, both on the big screen and Disney Plus as well. So, gentlemen, with all that being said, you guys doing good? We ready to go today?
Yes, we are.
Go.
Mm-hmm.
Jay, you're on time. Thanks for showing up 40 minutes late last night. This guy is freaking believable. Oh, nice. There you go. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it. Had a lot of fun doing that on Tuesday. That was really
That was fun. Yes, it was.
On the show. So that was great. We're gonna return the favor and do the job, so to speak, and get them on our show here in the next couple of weeks. We got something planned. So looking forward to what we have upcoming as well. So all right, great. I don't got much else for the intro other than the fact that I tried to get ripped off at my getting my inspection done this morning.
What happened?
Well, I take it off. I drop it off last night. No big deal. Hoping to get it done and get it back before the show started today, which was great. So I don't got to leave early or anything. I get the phone call. Hey, we just want to let you know, your front brakes look good and everything else. Your back brakes, the tech driving around said it was a little hard to stop. It took a little longer to stop than usual, and it's not. They're a little rusty. But they're at a 4, a 2's passing. I'm like, so it's double than what it needs to be for it to pass inspection. Yeah. But you may want to get them replaced now and save you. And I'm like, well, am I going to need brakes in the next couple months? Like, I'm literally in my car only for a half an hour a day. I drive 15 minutes back and forth to work. Like, and it's not highway driving. You know what I mean? Like, I don't drive anywhere. He's like, oh, yeah, just come. We might suggest that we take. I'm like, listen, dude, just finish my inspection and call me when it's done. You're not going to get me for a pair of back brakes when I don't need back brakes. Like,
one of that quick New Year money. That's what it is.
Yeah. Like, I mean, yeah. So
at least that's all you get. Whenever I take mine in, I hear the faintest squeak and then I bring it in. Oh, you need new rotors.
No. No, I'll wait till the rotors bleed. I don't. We gonna ride it till the wheels fall off, as they like to say. So yeah, that's it. So I don't got nothing else for the intro. I don't know what you guys got cooking. If you want to get into anything, maybe a little smash or trash here before we jump into bell to bell this week. But what else? Anybody got anything else?
Nope.
Yeah. All right,
for the intro.
Let's run through some smash or trash. This is our favorite fat kid segment of the week, where we discuss what new snacks may have come out and give our opinion as to whether we would smash them or trash them. Obviously, smash or trash. So let's run through these quick hitter style.
Yeah, there should be a quick addition here. This week, Oreo announced for its 110th birthday, they're going to have like their normal Oreo cookie, and there will be sprinkles inside the cream and the cookie.
Now, not only, but it's going to be chocolate birthday cake flavored cream.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even notice that. Yeah, so it's
See,
2 layers of cream because it's the regular one with the sprinkles. Then there's a chocolate layer underneath too.
Smash.
So,
yeah, I'm
Smash.
smashing all those.
that's too much.
What do you mean that's too much?
That's too much.
Try those ultimate chocolate. Those will put you to sleep.
That's too much
those
chocolate.
ultimate chocolates will that's what you need to eat after you have some of that perp in the morning.
More on Oreo. They have 3 new frozen items out. So Oreo cookie sandwich. So it's the Oreo cookie with cookies and cream ice cream, an Oreo bar, and then an Oreo cone, which is basically like their version of a drumstick.
Smash, 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 smash.
Not even a hesitation with that there.
Some breakfast items. Eggo is coming out with Fruit Loops waffles.
Yes.
Smash.
Trash.
Totino's is coming out with Cinnamon Toast Crunch pizza rolls.
Trash.
Smash.
Just trash.
They had something like that last year. I don't know if it wasn't Tostinos, but it was something else. Smash.
Okay. If you like mixing cereal, General Mills is coming out with a mix of Lucky Charms and Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I love Lucky Charms, but hate Cinnamon Toast Crunch, so trash.
I eat both, but would not combine those two together. So trash for me.
Smash.
Yeah, it's a weird combo.
Yeah, no.
Like just mess up the roof of your mouth. And finally, if you're in the Columbus area, Wendy's is testing 3 new Frosty Sundays. A marshmallow charm, so Lucky Charms, a classic strawberry Frosty Sundae, and a chocolate lovers Frosty Sundae.
Columbus is only 3 hours away from us. We can do a road trip there and back.
Smash.
Smash all 3
All
of
3
those.
of them.
And how the hell does Columbus get selected for that? Like, what went into
That's where
that
they're based out
process?
of.
That's what they're basing.
So
All
Columbus has like a lot of like startups there for like restaurants and other stores.
Yeah, no, 3 hour road trip. I'll go get a
Hey.
Frosty. It'll be our version of Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. Be the Dunmarks go to Wendy's.
I say after the show, go now and make it back before the storm.
Yeah. There you go.
Right now, I'm eating Eggo Pop Tarts. What was that on the smash or trash list?
Trash.
Trash.
Smash.
Oh, trash. Smash. Tastes like Eggos and syrup. Yeah.
Yeah, had to give that a try.
Nah, trash that. All right. Anything else for the intro?
We got a
Steak
steak
and
and
shake
shake around here, but they just end up closing up again.
You're cutting deep, my man.
Yeah. I definitely missed the milkshakes from Steak and Shake. That was a go-to late night spot for sure. Yeah. So the string fries with cheese was also fire.
Yeah.
That's all I got for Smash or Trash this week.
All right, well then let's hit it. Let's get into bell to bell. All right, big week this week in the world of pro wrestling. We'll touch on some of the stuff that happened. Won't necessarily deep dive too specifically in the shows unless we get a good topic here going based off of what we watched this week. But I guess the biggest news from the week here, word came out that MLW is filing a lawsuit against the WWE, alleging, amongst other things, that in August, WWE pressured Fox-owned streaming service Tubi to terminate a media distribution deal with MLW the day before it was announced. So I guess we're going with WWE back in court again. This time, Court Bauer and MLW filing suits. What do you guys make of it? What do you think is going to happen? Any initial thoughts right off the bat? I'm going to pull up while you guys are talking, I'm going to pull up the article to go over the actual allegations itself, but that was the general summary, so to speak.
I think MLW definitely got a case. I mean, you can't be the big shark in the group and just try to smash everybody. It's called monopoly for a reason, and they have laws up against that. You just can't cut everybody else off because you want to be the big fish in the water.
It's interesting. Court knows the WWE system. He worked there for years. He knows the people in charge. I think he probably thought about this very methodically and knows his game plan. I think he probably really looked into seeing if he had a case, and I'm sure he does. I think that if this goes to court, which I don't think it will go to court, I think this will get settled. But if it would, I think he would win. But it's just WWE has the money. So they're going to, if they want to push this out and let courts spend a lot of money, they'll do that. So we'll see where this goes. But yeah, like I said, court knows the system. So I think he's probably just looking maybe for a payday out of this, not necessarily a win, because I think he's justified in getting something out of it. Because I don't think this is going to go to the point where he's going to win this massive case or anything against them.
Yeah, see, I don't see court doing this as a money grab.
I'm not saying it's a money grab. He's owed something. They screwed him royally on this. So just something to recoup his losses. I think he's justified in getting.
So we all know, and if you watch Dark Side of the Ring, you got to see a face behind the name. But anybody that knows pro wrestling throughout the years has heard of the name of Jerry McDevitt, which is the lawyer who represents WWE. Has been, if you go back all the way to the steroid trials, where that relationship first came into play for Vince McMahon, and he's been with him ever since. He responded to these allegations and lawsuit and said, I have not seen the lawsuit. I have not seen the full lawsuit since WWE has not been served yet. If Tubi breached, then sue Tubi. As to Vice, because there were allegations in there as well with Vice and Vice not moving forward with putting MLW on their programming. They did air one show after Dark Side of the Ring. He says, as to Vice, WWE has no commercial relationship with them, or for that matter, any of the other dozens of content distribution entities with whom MLW could do a deal with if they had a commercially viable product. They put a show on Vice, if memory serves me correctly, after one of the Dark Side shows and lost most of the audience. I think I read they got only 40,000 viewers. No wonder Vince did no further deal with MLW. Bauer's statement initially was accusing WWE of wrongly depriving its competitors of opportunities for years. MLW believes that WWE did this to company, is anti-competitive, did this to his company and is anti-competitive. So yeah, we'll see what plays out here. I don't want to say it's the first time that somebody's taking WWE to court, because WCW and WWE battled basically in the courts the entire time the Monday Night Wars was going on, with frivolous lawsuits back and forth, right? This, if it does have legs to it, and there are substantial evidence proving that WWE did this to kibosh any deals that MLW had in the works with regards to Tubi or Vice, then it's going to be a big win for not just MLW, but other companies out there. The precedent will be set as far as monopolizing the market. I don't know if it'll play out that way. But like you said, Chris, the money is there. WWE can stay in court as long as they want. So how long does Court Bauer want to fight this if it drags out from time, for a lengthy period of time? Hell, this could go on 2 to 3 years before it even sees the inside of a courtroom to even start the proceedings. So is he willing to die on that hill and battle that?
Yeah, and does he have the money? Because I'm gonna guess that he doesn't. Yeah. Vince and the WWE can throw away the money, no problem. The first thing that reminded me was whenever Bully Ray talked about whenever him and Devon went to TNA, and they were fighting over the Dudley Boys name. They felt that they were in the right, that they owned the name. Vince said that he owned the name because of him buying ECW. Bully Ray, he said that, his lawyers told him, you have a case, you could justifiably win this, but, do you want to salvage that relationship with the WWE? And And just in case you'd ever want to go back and work there, and you want to waste all your money, because that's what they're going to do. They're just going to push this out and push this out. And you're just going to spend a lot more money than you have, and they have it.
Right. So. Yeah. You say this is just the tip of potentially what could be an iceberg. Who knows? I'm sure we'll get more information as the weeks and months roll on here into this year, and maybe it is something as basic as, hey, we're going to file it, we're going to serve you. Let's talk. Let's work something out. Because MLW does have a viable product, regardless of what Jerry McDivitt says. There is an audience for MLW. They have a good roster. Court does an excellent job with what he does with that company and that product. And he has built them up to be a legitimate option as far as an audience grabbing show. And to have a big deal like something with Tubi get quote unquote axed because WWE stepped in and said, hey, don't do this because Tubi's an offspring of Fox, then yeah, we got issues and we got problems. So I want to see how it plays out. I'm curious about it. This is where my legal background side of me and my nerd side will be all over this and following this from just a straight interest standpoint. Because this is the type of case that, is not only interesting for the facts being presented, but the precedent that it can set moving forward for a big time corporation that for 20 plus years had the entire market. So,
but it's okay for them to be on Fox and Peacock and all that stuff together.
Fox, USA,
Free enterprise, right?
ABC,
Yep.
Peacock, right?
Yep.
Like,
it's okay for them to do it, but nobody else can do it.
Yeah, whatever they're on in the UK.
What's that?
Yeah,
Sky?
I mean, TSN up in Canada, like, yeah, you're good there, but let somebody else try to hop on Tubi, and we're gonna put the foot down. So, I just find it interesting that, like, what would be WWE's motive behind putting the roadblock up for MLW? Like, I don't get that. Like, MLW is not. It's not AEW as far as the backing and the money and everything else. And I get, Turner is different than Tubi, obviously, but why MLW?
They want Jacob Fatu. Run him into the ground and poach the contract.
I think it's that simple. That's what it boils down to.
So yeah, this is the first I was hearing the Tubi. The whole time I was hearing Vice, and my thinking was like, why are they even worried about Vice? Like, why are you worried about MLW and not Vice? Since Vice is the one putting out all the pretty much anti-WWE stuff.
Right. And Tubi right now they do have wrestling stuff on their streaming service. The big thing that I go to Tubi for to watch is Lucha Underground, because you can watch all the seasons there. And my guess is based off of Court's dealings with individuals that were in Lucha Underground recently, with MLW Azteca and people that he's brought in and have talked to. I would assume that's where the start of that relationship started, as far as him being able to get into talks with people from Tubi to even discuss about getting MLW put on them, as far as being the streaming home for MLW. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see how it plays out and everything else. It's just super odd to me that WWE would go through this amount of backdooring and shady dealings and everything else just to stop MLW from getting on somewhere.
So, if it's just MLW, do you think it's personal?
No, because Court's never. I mean, from everything that I've looked into and researched, there's no bad blood between Court and WWE. I mean, he's done his own thing for a very long time, and it's been very successful with MLW, the wrestling, as well as the radio and podcasting side of things from MLW itself. So I don't think there's any bad blood there, but who knows? I mean, if Vince does come across as somebody that would hold a grudge for a really long time, and we can go through and list exhibits A through Z with that, right? Like, and then you may not even know that you have heat with Vince, but there's something there, and if there's an axe to grind, he'll grind it down to the bare bones before he even lets you, and then probably pick up another axe and start grinding that one down. So, yeah,
it's either that or it's been going on everywhere, and he's the only one that knows the inside enough to go forward with it.
Mm-hmm. And that's possible.
Yeah, it is.
For how well he knows the inside.
Because
he was, I'm not saying he was Vince's right-hand guy ever, but he was high enough up there, like in the team. So,
and I mean, and this could have been a situation that came out of through COVID. Vince may have seen an opportunity to purchase MLW, like he's done with Evolve and other entities. And Court may have said, "Look, I'm not selling. I'm not interested. Like I have plans. I have a formula that I use. I run. I've been building this for a really long time. And that could have been, okay, well, you don't want to play ball with us, so we're just going to chop you off at the knees and not let you on anywhere."
Yeah.
So yeah, there's so many. If you're juggling things, there's so many balls up in the air right now. You don't even know what's coming down next. So I'm sure more information is going to come out as we move forward with this. But I just thought it was interesting that we start the year off in the first major news besides all this. Yeah. So it's a good point. I don't know, but one of the, you hear everybody playing nice in the sandbox with these forbidden door relationships, and then all of a sudden there's a lawsuit slap because people aren't playing nice in the sandbox, right? So yeah, we'll see how it plays out. To piggyback on what we talked about a little bit from last week's show, with Mickie James being announced for the Royal Rumble and having that set the internet wrestling community on fire, she gave a really good interview on Ariel Helwani's podcast / show. If anybody out there wants to go take a listen to it, hop on over to his YouTube channel. You can watch it there. But listen, Ariel's great. A lot of people give Ariel shit. I loved him. I love the way he covered UFC and MMA for years. I love what he's done so far as coverage of wrestling. He's an entertaining guy. He asks hard-hitting questions. Him and Paul Heyman sit down that they had before the end of the year last year was really good. So I like the way Ariel attacks an interview and gets people to talk and give information. The big thing was I guess I don't want to say the two biggest takeaways, but number one, the whole deal came about with Johnny Ace reaching out to Scott D'Amore to see if Mickie would even be open and Impact would be open to letting Mickie work the Rumble. And then two, and I said this last week, business is business, right? But for Mickie, it was a little bit more personal than just business is business with going back to the WWE. She didn't want the last image and the last memory of her being the trash bag scandal. So this was an opportunity for her to go back. She could go back not the way WWE wants her. She gets to go back as Mickie James, Impact Women's Champion. She's going to come out with the belt. She's going to come out to Hardcore Country theme music. So she's coming back the way that she wants to come back, but she's going to get that final piece, that final thought of her in WWE isn't going to be the trash bag. It's going to be more of her in the Rumble and this historic deal that's getting ready to take place in 2 weeks. So like we said last week, kudos to her with handling business the right way, and doing it because she wants to leave the fans with the right taste in their mouths from her leaving WWE. So any thoughts on that little bit there?
I'm cool with that. I think it's a good idea. Something different, You never know if it's going to turn any heads. Maybe it gets Impact some more viewers, or maybe some people that haven't watched WWE tune into WWE because they like Mickie James. Like you said, it's good business. And I'm glad that she's at least being able to kind of redeem this whole situation. Like you said, left a bad taste in her mouth and some other people. So I don't think this is it for Mickey. Like, I think she'll be back at some point. Maybe not wrestling full time in WWE, but I think she'll be back in the company in some form or another.
So I bring that up as a segue and a transition. Professional radio guy, not really, but that's a hell of a segue I just did right there. To bring up, let's recap the week that was for Impact Wrestling, and they had Hard to Kill last Saturday. Solid pay-per-view, top to bottom. I really enjoyed the card. Didn't think there was a bad match on the card. Not saying that everything was 5 stars, but I thought everybody did what they needed to do. Mickey and Deonna main evented the card. I thought that was the right call given the feud that they've had. It was justified in putting it in the main event spot. Whether or not the match went off as you wanted it to go off, being a Texas death match, we could debate that, but I thought it was really good that they got to main event that to put the final stamp on their feud between them two. But eventually they'll circle back around and find each other again here. So just overall thoughts of the card itself: thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, and just the kind of quick hitters, maybe what you liked or didn't like from the show itself.
Thumb in the middle for me. First hour was a good hour. Like, if you would just give me that 1 hour and like on TV or something, that would have been probably one of the best hours of professional wrestling. The Women's Ultimate X, you had the X Division Championship and the Ring of Honor Championship, all great. Like you said, main event was exactly where it needed to be. It should have been the main event. Glad it was. I know they announced it early on. I missed the first hour. I had to go back and rewatch it. So I missed when they did announce that it was going to be the main event. But whenever they had the Impact Championship match before it, I was very excited that the women were getting their time to shine. Really, after the first hour, then the main event, everything else in the middle just didn't hit really for me. It was pretty missable there in the middle.
Wow, really? I mean, you had Jonah and Alexander there. You didn't like that match?
I mean, Alexander, I said was vying for my male wrestler of the year last year, so I'm never going to hate Josh Alexander. Jonah doesn't do anything for me at all. So the match didn't do anything. The hardcore match, the 10-man, was awful. Didn't like anything out of that.
I like the way it was set up, though. Kind of a War Games-esque with the countdown.
I felt that made it too slow, and then with how slow the women's match kind of was, and with that style, like, you had 2 hardcore matches that kind of went on longer than they should have in a way. And I didn't like
the fact that they had 2 hardcore matches on the same card.
Okay. If for how the women's match was slowed down, I would have rather had the 10-man just be, all 10 men out at the same time, just beat the shit out of each other. Make it more fun. Because you couldn't do that with the women's match. So, yeah, the 10-man, just nothing hit on that one for me at all.
All right. Jay, Donald, any takeaways from Hard to Kill on Saturday?
I didn't do my homework.
Good job. Way to show up prepared for the show.
I read about it. I didn't watch it.
So transition into Thursday night's Impact. For me, it was the best show of the week. Of all the shows that were on this week, top to bottom, I felt Impact was the best show from start to finish. I would put that number 1 for show of the week. And again, I said last year was the year of the women in 2021, right? And my female wrestler of the year was Deonna Purrazzo, and she is off to a hell of a start in 2022 based off of main eventing with Mickey at the pay-per-view, and then she main evented again Thursday night against the ROH Women's Champion Roxy for a winner-take-all title versus title match. Deonna was victorious in what very early on, we're only 15 days into January, but that's a contender for match of the year so far. High quality wrestling there, high praise for both of them. Roxy is only 20 years old, and she looks like she's a 32-year-old veteran. I mean, style-wise, technically wise, facial expression wise, she is going to be very hard to keep down from exploding onto the scene. I know she had a tryout with WWE recently. I don't know if she accepted it and is going there, and maybe that's why they did the title drop. I have no idea.
That's the rumor that I saw, but yeah,
didn't see anything there. But she, if you're looking for a name to get familiar with as far as somebody that's going to do big things this year, she is somebody that you need to have on your list 1,000%. So yeah, Impact tremendous. Riding the wave, stayed hot after the pay-per-view, and like I said, I'll wave the flag for Impact Wrestling. They need more eyes on their product for what they do.
put it on something, and then maybe I can actually.
That's the problem.
Yeah, it's true. Put it on.
That's the problem.
And I'm not paying for it. You know, it's give it to me somehow, but I'm not going to sit there and give you any money for it. No.
I used to watch on Twitch and go on.
Twitch was so great. I was there every Thursday for Twitch. That's where I watched it and consumed it. We saw NWA announced recently. Nick Aldis was on Busted Open that NWA is going to be moving Power back onto YouTube for free. So they, he said, hey, the paywall was what it was. We did what we thought best we needed to do because of the pandemic, but now we've kind of turned that corner and everything else. So we feel that we can go back to being able to get back to our roots, be on YouTube. The paywall's still there. You can sign up for $50 for the year. You'll get all the content as well as the live specials that they do throughout the year. So yeah, I Impact. It's the one thing that Impact has missed on recently is being able to be somewhere where you can get eyes on their product.
And I don't know if it's them that they need because they now own Access TV. So I don't know if that's them that they need to try to work more, access more homes, or if they need to figure out another deal like what they had with Twitch. Because now they're doing this YouTube thing and they have Impact Plus and everything, and that's great. There are ways to watch Impact. Again, I'm not paying for it. It's just the product isn't there for me to want to pay for every month.
Right. So I said this week one of my things is something that I'm going to do for the first time ever. Right.
Okay.
So first time ever since this show has been on air. AEW Dynamite was the worst show of the week this week. I hated almost every single thing about the show this week.
It wasn't good.
It was 30 pounds of shit trying to get stuff into a 2-pound bag. And it started off from the opening segment all the way through to the main event. Now, was there good wrestling on the show? Yeah, there's always good wrestling on the show. But from start to finish, I felt it wasn't produced well. Segments weren't laid out well. Timing was off. They were all over the place with storylines. It was not a good showing from them on Wednesday night.
I'm not going to argue with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not at all.
It did feel like a very flustered show, with every segment. Nothing flowed. There was stuff I enjoyed on the show, of course, but yeah. I mean, other than I watched a little bit of Raw, I watched a little bit of SmackDown, and watched Dynamite this week. That was it. I mean, for me, honestly, still Dynamite was the better show out of what I've watched, but I agree. I could say that if you missed it, I wouldn't recommend going back to watch it.
Why are we hot-shotting the reveal? Now, kayfabe's dead, right? At least that's what they've been telling us for 20 years. So we know Adam Cole and Britt Baker are an item.
Yeah.
Okay. Right? We know this. Okay. Why are you hot-shotting putting them on TV to be added into an elite versus best friends feud just to get one intergender match?
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's something that you need to save that, and you need to do that to where when they come together, they're the ultimate, they're the power couple. They run all of AEW.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why waste it now?
So Statlander's number one. So Statlander's number one for the title now.
I hated it.
Wasn't she just the number one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I don't even think they're going that way. I think it's strictly to have this intergender match, and then we'll like after that it'll be like poof, it's gone. Like why you don't waste that when you can go so many different ways with it, with them two together finally on screen for everybody, just for this feud. Like I hated it.
But then do you have them as a power couple?
Yeah, you have. I would have them as a power couple. You could run them a la Stephanie and Triple H back in the day.
But like Cole's not even the top of his division.
That's what
won't be no time soon.
Why waste it? That's what I'm getting at. Why do it?
And they're both in different stories now too. You know, especially with Cole focusing on Red Dragon and the Young Bucks right now. It's like it doesn't make sense that they threw this in there.
None at all.
But then you'll be waiting for forever.
I'd rather wait for it then.
Yeah, wait for it. Play it out. Give me the story. Don't hotshot it just because you want to hotshot something to where you'll get oohs and ahs and 10 stars from Dave Meltzer for putting this match together. Like I don't.
The audience knows they're together. That's no secret. So if you want them to be together, you could have brought them out. Whenever Cole had his interview with Tony Schiavone, or something like that. How many months ago? Like you could have done it then. Why do it now?
Yeah. So I didn't like that at all. How they did that. I'm okay with Lance Archer coming back and what he did. I thought it was good heat on him, and I know records reset, new year, so new challengers, new stories, everything, right? So you have to move into the new year with AEW, erasing everything that happened the year before because it starts over, which is fine. I'm okay with doing that. I like a reset. Give me a new start to a season. But given past history, he's not a viable threat.
Archer.
What makes you think Archer's going to beat Heyman? He's come up short in every big time match.
True.
Except one, when he beat Mox.
He's not.
But other than that, he hasn't won the big one. And
they want you to forget.
What'd you say?
They want you to forget.
I mean, all it is giving Hangman a big man match.
Yeah.
So that's it.
And I'm okay with having Hangman overcame the technical wrestler, arguably the best wrestler on the planet, and move on to a different storyline. And now you're going to have him go up against this, monstrous character who just decimates everybody and has no regard for human life. But to me, you can't just bring Archer back off an injury and that be the case, hit the ground running.
And as long as go ahead, Jason.
He's going right back to where he started. Once he loses the Hangman.
That's what I mean. It's the same circle for him, and
And they better play this out on TV because I do not want to see this be the main event of the pay-per-view.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it at all.
No, I don't really want to see it either. But I don't.
I mean, you guys know my feelings about Archer. As soon as he came out, that shit got turned off.
Well, speaking of burials and people in the same cycle, what was the idea behind the opening segment of Raw this week? Because Brock Lesnar just buried Bobby Lashley.
You just explained.
Bobby doing kind of
complete. You have Bobby, who's the heel, get in the ring and look at the babyface and go, "I respect you. It's an honor to be in here with you. It's great sharing the spotlight with you." And then Brock just eviscerates him on the mic.
How often do you ever say that sentence?
Never.
He worked a knock-knock joke. Knock-knock joking. And I wasn't mad at the knock joke. Normally, I would have fucking buried it. Like, we're doing knock jokes now, but it worked. It fit perfectly into it. And after that, it was like, fuck, Bobby's dead. I have no desire to see this match at the Rumble now, off of one promo segment. This match has been 15 years in the making. Bobby has asked for this since he's come back into the WWE 4 or 5 years ago.
No, do they know who's the main event
of the Rumble?
The Rumble is it this match?
The Rumble.
The Rumble's the main event.
The
Whether it's the women's or the men's would be the main event.
Oh, it is? Okay. I mean, I know sometimes
sometimes they change it.
They change it differently. So
you don't. If out of the two title pictures right now, if anything's going to main event and it not be a Rumble match, it'll be Roman and Seth. It's not going to be Brock and Bobby.
I thought it was going to be Brock and Bobby until Monday.
It'll be the first match.
So did they.
Yeah, it just didn't make sense that you have this, beast versus alpha. It has potential to be so good based off of what both men can do.
And it's what everybody was clamoring for.
Yeah, like
for a long time.
Yeah, in ring work wise, like this match is going to be a banger and can possibly steal the show and be match of the night at the Rumble. Like you can make that argument 1,000%. But to come out and do what they did Monday night, it's like and you have what 2 more shows to build Bobby back up to make him seem legitimate. And out of both of those shows, is Brock even going to show up one time? So Brock comes out, eviscerates him on a mic, and oh yeah, I'll see you at the Rumble. I'm gone. Like, what are we doing here?
That's your creative.
This just made 0 sense at all. So, yeah, I didn't get it at all. Flipping over to SmackDown last night, the final main event segment was what I look forward to most. The show, other than that, was the drizzling shits. It's terrible, absolutely terrible.
I missed the opening with the tag match, but I heard that was good.
Poo Day.
Yeah, no.
I'm here for the dad jokes.
Oh gosh,
I'm here for it.
I had to go back and watch that just to see what y'all was talking about.
I'm not doing that.
And man, yeah,
I'm here for the dad jokes.
So the main event face off, Roman and Seth. If you didn't know it was Roman and Seth, they played up the fact that it was going to be Roman and Seth 9,000 during the show.
True.
Shield highlights.
Yeah,
on every break.
Yeah, every transition, every back from commercial break, everything was Roman and Seth. Like,
by the time that happened, I thought Moxley was returning last night.
Might as well, right?
Like these are two storylines that two main event storylines that could have played out way much better.
Yeah.
But everything got to be hot shot. Everything.
And that's the issue.
I mean, I get the COVID threw all this in the loop, but
yeah, COVID,
but it's here now.
Yeah, COVID gave you a different set of circumstances, right?
Yeah.
The rumors were WrestleMania matches that were supposed to take place were going to be Brock and Roman. You were going to have Seth as the champion because he was going to win it at day one to take on either KO, Big E, or Bobby Lashley, one of those 3. You're going to have Charlotte and Sasha. Obviously, Sasha got hurt. She's out right now. Time frame back sometime in March. And then you're going to have Becky and Bianca, which you may get because Bianca may win the Rumble again back-to-back years. So that was supposedly the initial card. But now you had to make the switch and the transition, and there's so many layers to Seth and Roman, and there's so many things you can do with it. And I loved everything about the face-off until the end.
Mm-hmm.
There's no need to have the Usos run in there. I get it. Part of Seth's point was that Roman can't do anything by himself, but to me that just deflated and took all the air out of that segment. and left me with a bitter taste in my mouth as to compared to being like, oh my god, did you see the face off last night? Like, it went total different direction for me based off of the ending. What do you guys think of that? How they played it out, and what are you expecting from these two over the next 2 weeks before Rumble match itself?
The initial face off, I agree with you. It should have just ended, probably just ended in a stare down. The next 2 weeks, you could have had all the run-ins and everything.
I agree. Yeah, I would have rather seen this just end, but they don't do that. Gotta do the brawl or something anymore, and it's
try to make that number at the end.
I'm hoping the next couple weeks build it up a little bit better. For me, it wasn't all there last night. You know, I still need that another good promo, like, to really sell me on this. I'm sold on it already just because of the history that's there, and especially I'm a big Seth fan, so I'm glad to see him in this picture. And this is a match that we've talked about, that they've tried to keep them separate on different brands for so long now, just to kind of do a payoff later. So yeah, I think it can get there. Just we don't have a whole lot more time to get there
and ramp up the intensity.
Yeah.
See, I think one of the things that, and it's not just WWE, but wrestling in general, right? We don't get cliffhangers anymore.
No.
You rarely go off the air waiting for next week to see what happened, right? The tune in next week tagline Shivani used to say at the end of Nitro, that doesn't exist anymore, right? And I think wrestling can use,
when they had multiple shows too.
Yeah, wrestling can use an injection of that. You need more cliffhangers. I think it would have worked way better, which, Chris, leads into your point of amping up the intensity. If you have Roman deliver that line there with the, if I wanted to pick somebody to main event the Royal Rumble with, I would have picked your wife. And you see Seth's face change and the twitching in the face and everything else. Go to black there. Like, just end it there. Have it go off there. Have it end there. So then it's like,
what happened?
What happened? So what's Seth thinking now? Like, because this is a different Roman. He hasn't seen this guy before. He hasn't faced this guy before. He just one-upped them on the microphone. That never happened before, right? Like, so what's Seth's strategy going to be now? How's he going to get into Roman's head now? Like, Roman's whole promo was, I'm top dog, I'm big shit, you're beneath me. This isn't even worth my time. I would have went after your wife instead of you. So what is Seth going to do to get into Roman's head? How's he going to get him now moving forward? I thought that would have been a better ending. But instead you have them do the surprise attack. Seth does some gymnastics,
Reggie Allah.
Yeah, Reggie Allah, jumping off of tables and everything else. I love Pat McAfee's line about Seth dressing like a jackass. Tremendous. So yeah, but that, to me, that would have been the way better way to end the show last night. And then you can add on next week and then one more time, and then you're ready to go for the match. You're invested. You want to see it as much in the ring based off of what they can do, as well as story playing out and leading up to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, all right. Any other things you want to touch on show wise? Anything else stood out, good or bad, from you from this week, product wise? No.
We pretty much covered everything that I watched this week.
I brought up Pat McAfee there. We'll run through some quick hitters here from the world of wrestling real quick. I brought up Pat McAfee, and the reason why I did that is because Pittsburgh, where we're at, 412, black and gold country, even though Steelers are going to get their ass beat tomorrow night, but we'll save that for sports. I don't think there's been another city that has produced more nationally seen wrestling commentators than Pittsburgh. right? And this tweet came out from Joe Dombrowski. He said, "Has Pittsburgh produced more nationally seen wrestling commentators than anywhere else? Graves, McAfee, Mark Madden, Larry Zbyszko, Bruno, Bill Caudle, Franchise, Jack Caporla. I'm not sure about him. John Burton, 32. And then he said even Eric Bischoff lived here for a short time as a kid. I'm not counting Bischoff.
I don't know for sure, but I don't think John Burton's from here. I know he worked here, but I don't think he's from here.
Okay, so we'll take him and Bischoff off the list. But other than that,
that's a hell of a list.
I know Bruno did do commentating, but
what I mean,
yeah.
No different than Jesse Ventura doing commentating, right? Like a wrestler moved
there was a difference.
into the role. Not from style and everything else, but I'm saying, no different. But I mean, I don't think you can say that there's another city out there that's done that and has produced this high quality of commentators that are on that list.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you see McAfee's run being with WWE?
2 years tops.
Because to me, I don't know what he signed on for, but he brings a level of energy and fun and enthusiasm and everything else to SmackDown that just makes it enjoyable listening on a weekly basis.
It makes you enjoy Cole too.
Which I never thought I would say again. The old curmudgeon Cole is gone. Like, I mean,
it is. It's an injection of fun. It is. It's something they really needed because it's been bland for decades.
I think it depends on him, really, like what he wants to do next. If he gets to the point and he goes, okay, done this, check it off my list, and I'm going to just focus on my regular show, or I'm going to start doing this. I think that's where it's more at, is probably what he wants to do.
I think he still got one more match against Adam Cole.
Speaking of commentators with one more match, Corey Graves got cleared for wrestling again after 7 years. I believe his injuries were due to concussions.
Yes.
Similar to Daniel Bryan, right? Do you see Graves wanting to get back into the ring? I know he's talked about it previously on his podcast. They kind of he was over it and past it, but I think with Bryan Danielson coming back, I think with Edge coming back, Christian coming back, especially Bryan and Christian, given the fact that it was concussion based related, as to why their careers were cut short. Seeing those guys come back and being able to do it, I think may have lit that itch again for him to see if it would be possible. I didn't watch FCW and NXT when he had his run there, so I'm not familiar ring work wise. I know he was an NXT tag team champion down there, but do you guys expect Graves to get in the ring and maybe transition from the commentary table for a little bit, or do you think it'll just be kind of a one-off situation?
You get that Rumble surprise.
No, that's not bad.
Yeah, I think it might be a one-off, and that's it.
If anything, put him in a tag. Maybe him and Ziggler. That'd be interesting to see.
Well, I mean, you have Miz and Maurice. You
get buried some more.
You got Miz and Maurice. You got Edge and Beth. Why not have Graves and Carmella? I mean,
why not bring back the mixed match tag tournament? Yeah. I love that.
He could be the Valley for her. He don't have to be in the ring all the time. And hey,
I enjoyed Corey in NXT whenever he wrestled. I liked him down there. I'd seen him wrestle here in Pittsburgh a few times too. Like, he has talent. There's no denying that. Like, I thought he could have been a next level star in WWE had he stayed healthy. But at this point, I've enjoyed Corey's commentating work more than I actually enjoyed his wrestling, though. Like, this was a thing that I didn't expect from him. And I think he's really had a nice shining career out of this. And I'd rather him stay where he's at. If you want to do the Rumble spot or do some little things here and there, as long as you're healthy, cool. if you still have that itch, you got to do it. But I'd rather see him stay on commentary instead of going to wrestling full time.
I wouldn't want him off that booth or off that, because I don't like the other two.
I don't think Smith and Saxton would be able to carry a show themselves.
No.
And who do you throw in that third spot? Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's the other thing. I don't know who you throw in there as the third spot. Now, Jerry Lawler supposedly re-signed with WWE again. So not reading into anything, but maybe for the little short run that Graves may have in the ring, you could slide Lawler in and he could be the heel opposite of Saxton to go that route if they decide to do that.
Or you give us a heel Booker T.
So rumor is that he's coming back too, right? That's to be rumored. There was some tweets this week.
Sums up Jason real quick.
Jason's life. The silent assassin. He kills him with silence. Whether it's his wrestling takes or him meeting women, he kills him with silence.
Seen Adam Pearce laced up his boots, so you might get a couple surprises in there.
Everybody lacing their boots up. I think we're lacing our boots up to enter the Rumble.
Hey, let's do it. Never say never.
So we're just one entry, or are we 4 different entries?
One whole entry.
Booker T, we're coming for you.
I was going to say, me and Chris can come back as a smaller version of the natural disasters. Chris would, instead of being earthquake, he'd be sinkhole. Instead of me being typhoon, I don't know what a smaller equivalent wave is. That could be our gimmick there.
Microburst.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh natural disasters.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's
that would help out with the ladies. Here comes microburst.
Lastly, just 2 other quick hitters here for Bell to Bell this week. GCW announced this week that Jon Moxley will be making his return to the ring at their January 23rd show from the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York. He'll be taking on Homicide, Mr. 187 himself, for the GCW World Title. Also on that card, Joey Janela versus Matt Cardona, Ali versus Ruby, Jonathan Gresham versus Christian Blake, who was in NXT for a short time. That match there is going to be insane. If you haven't not familiar with either one of those 2 guys, research them, watch them, because that one's going to be a banger. And then Team Bandito versus Team Gringo. Not sure who's all involved in that match right now, but that's the card as is right now for GCW. They had a show last night in Detroit. Was well received from all accounts, from what I saw on the Twitter timeline. So, like I said, GCW was my projected promotion of the year to carry over the momentum from 2021 into 2022. So we'll see how that plays out. But this is a card and a show that I'll probably tune in to watch here coming up on the 23rd.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna watch that one live, but
that's available on Fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What were you saying, Chris?
I don't know if that's one that I'm gonna watch live, but I'm definitely gonna go back and watch it at some point.
And then lastly for me, if you're not watching the NFL playoffs tonight and you're looking for a wrestling fix, if you haven't gotten enough of wrestling, you can tune in tonight for Zicky Dice's Outlandish Paradise. Zicky Dice, if you're not familiar with him, he was in NWA for a while. He was their television champion right before COVID hit and everything got shut down. He recently signed a deal with Impact, so he's going to be working with them for a little bit longer. Not sure exactly the length of his deal, but he did sign up for them. The reason why I'm bringing this up is, one, you can go onto his Twitch channel and watch it for a watch along. Starts at 7:45. The match that has me the most interested, and which a lot of people I assume we'll be talking about the rest of this weekend is going to be Taya Valkyrie's making her in-ring return after her WWE release, and she'll be taking on Thunder Rosa. So two of my favorite women, going back to the Lucha Underground days with Taya and Thunder Rosa as Cobra Moon. Those two ladies, I think, will steal the show tonight and have match of the night there. So if you're looking for a little wrestling fix and want something to do, even if you just tune in for that match, you can go on the Twitch and do a watch along from Zicky's Twitch channel.
Yeah, I'll check that out tonight.
Anybody got anything else in wrestling to finish up Bell to Bell this week?
No.
Hey, did somebody say it's time to drink a beer? What? Drink a beer? What? Let's get into Bell to Bell. I'm thirsty. I'm sorry. Drink of the week.
Chug, 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 chug.
All right. This week's drink of the week is brought to you by Yards Brewing Company, the French Toast Bites Ale. It is a 16-ounce pint, 5.5% alcohol. It's an ale brewed with cinnamon, brown sugar, and vanilla. So all the things you would make French toast with. I'm excited for this one. I'm hoping it's a good choice here. Chris, this is your pick of the week for drink of the week, right?
Yep, this was my pick. This is one that I've actually heard of for. I don't remember if it was last year whenever it first came out or the year before, but I read about this. I hear the French Toast Bites in from local in Philly is supposed to be something that people go crazy about. So
yeah, it was the French Toast Bites were started in 2018 by Charisse McGill. It was a freshly made street food treat from a food truck in Philly, and they took that recipe and turned it into a beer. So we know we with our chubbiness and fat kids, this is right up our alley here. So
looks like an ale, smells like an ale.
Uh-huh. It's a little bit more hoppy than what I was thinking.
Yeah, there's some subtle flavor in there.
Jason just did an Austin 316 there and buried the whole beer. Were you even able to taste or get a flavor profile before you decided to chug it?
Nah. It just tastes like regular.
That normally, if Jason's chugging it, that normally means he does not want another. And that's how
I have another because it didn't taste much for me. And it was kind of smooth.
Donald, what do you got?
I got subtle hints of French toast. It tastes like a ale, like Chris said, very bland. I get down with it, so I give it right in the middle, a 3.
Chris, you got that bitter beer face going on right now.
Not so much the bitter beer; it's just still kind of getting over everything. Like I said, it looks like an ale. It smelled like an ale. It, for the most part, it tastes just like an ale. So, not a whole lot of excitement here. Unfortunately, I had higher hopes than what I'm getting, but it is a little smooth. I'm getting a little bit. I am getting some sweetness while I'm drinking it. It's smooth. It is drinkable.
Yes, it is.
It's slightly above average, but am I going to keep going back and drinking more of these? No, probably not. Like if I had like another 4-pack of this or something, I don't know. I'd drink it, but I'd probably rather share it than drink them all myself. I think I'm gonna be generous here. I'm just gonna give it a 2.
Yeah, Donald, your scale 1 to 5 sumos.
It's at 3 in the middle.
3. Okay. Jay, you'll have another.
I'll have another. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I think I'm most disappointed with the flavoring. I was expecting it to be way more, not so much punch in the face taste, but I was expecting it to be more flavorful than what it is. From that standpoint. So I was a little let down there. It is a smooth beer to drink. It's not a harsh sip. So you can drink these and kind of go along your night having 3, 4, maybe 5 of them. I don't know if you want to go that hard because they are pounders, but yeah, flavor wise, taste wise, you're not going to get that from this beer, in my opinion. So, if you're out and about and you see this in your local brewery, by all means, pick it up. Hit us up on social media. Let us know what you thought of the French Toast Bites Ale there from Yard's Brewing Company. And
Did you get it rated?
I'll go with you, Chris. I'll go 2 out of 5 on a sumo scale. Yeah, flavor let me down here with this one. So, and as always, we ask that you pick up your bottles, cans, shot glasses, brown paper bags, whatever you're toasting with this week, and to good ships and wood ships and ships that sail the seas. The best ships are friendships, and friends will always be. All right, this week in sports, congratulations to the Georgia Bulldogs for winning the national championship Monday night. Goes to show how dumb marked we are, where we all picked Alabama. But, well, yeah, Jason went opposite.
I'm always right, man.
Follow your role. Okay?
Let's fix everything.
You're gonna live that up forever.
If you were a 1920 silent film, you'd put Bucks. Like, from an energy standpoint, you're at a 2. But no, congratulations to Georgia winning there. We got NFL playoffs kicking off later on today with 2 games today, 3 tomorrow, 1 Monday night. I hate it. Just give me 3 games each day, wild card weekend.
Yes.
I get the reason why they're doing it, but I'm gonna pass on that. So
at least put the Steelers on Monday night.
No, they don't deserve to be on Sunday night.
They don't deserve Sunday night. They should be on at 4:30 today.
You should have thrown them on the 1 o'clock slate on Sunday.
No faith. No faith.
So, Chris, do you got the graphic from our NFL picks to start off the year here? All right, so you can see there we went through each division, picked who we thought would be champions. I think out of the 4 of us, Jason had the most division winners picked correctly. Everybody does have their Super Bowl picks still alive as of this time today. We will see how that plays out throughout the weekend. I have Bucks versus Bills, Chiefs over the Packers for Jason. Donald got Chiefs over the Rams, and Chris has Bucks over the Chiefs. So with that being said, do any of you guys have a mulligan here that you'd like to use as they do in golf and reselect your Super Bowl teams, or are you going to ride it out and stick with your initial pick from the beginning of the season?
I am going to ride mine out.
All right, Donald sticking with the Chiefs over the Rams. Chris, Jay, either one of you two want to make a change to your pick there?
I'm riding it out.
All right, Chris is going for a Super Bowl rematch from last year with Bucks and Chiefs. Jason?
Steelers, Packers.
You're fucking insane. There's no way.
The Homer boy.
Vince McMahon's theme song's No Way in Hell. They should be playing that when the Steelers walk out of the locker. And listen, I'm doing all this negative press because I'm a very superstitious guy. I'll be wearing the same thing I wore the last 2 weeks when the Steelers played to get wins tomorrow. So I'm just going to keep conjuring up the negativity and pile on that we don't have a chance in the case that we do pull off and have a chance and actually win the damn game tomorrow.
We got a Browns fan watching. I was going to go get my fitted and put on, but I don't wear Steelers stuff. I don't jinx it.
Yeah,
you might not ever see me in Steelers gear. This is what the Pirates are losing.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, no, it'll be a very, very tough uphill climb tomorrow night for the Steelers. 12.5-point underdogs. They just lost 36-10. It really was 36-3. They scored a late touchdown 3 weeks ago. So yeah.
Like I said, it just happened, so it's still fresh in the mind.
Corvette's back.
yeah. He's gonna get a flat tire on the first route he runs. Hey, stick to who you are. You don't gotta come here and change allegiances. You stick to who you are.
You change those allegiances. Right, you root for Jason and you root for the Steelers. One gotta go, coming soon.
Yeah, no, I'm more of a realist. It's gonna be, I saw a lot of people this week talking about the '05 team and how they went on the run
How
and everything
dare
else.
they?
And I'm like, that team was way more talented. One, two, the quarterback they have for that team is the same quarterback. However, he was 16 years younger and was able to throw more than 3 yards downfield. So not even a comparison as to this team versus the '05 team. It's not.
That defense can stop the run, and that team can run the ball. So
Yeah, no. I'm gonna take a mulligan on mine. I'm gonna drop the Bucks out, and I'm gonna go Packers Bills for Super Bowl.
okay.
So that's me giving a mulligan. Bucks are way too injured, even though they do have Brady and he's the GOAT, but I don't see them being able to rattle off 3 in a row to make it to the Super Bowl. So
find out next week if Steve's pissed that he changed his picks.
No, actually, well, it'd be in 2 weeks because
2 weeks.
Yeah, Tampa Bay would I think they would potentially play Green Bay in the next round if they were to win. Unless one of the lower seeds behind Tampa wins, then the reseeding will take place. So, but yeah, don't have anything else in sport. Oh wait, I do have one other thing in sports, Donald, and I know we're far off from baseball, and baseball is not something that we
the hot
really care about.
And the hot stove is always burning in the winter.
Hot stove is always burning, but
I think we all care about baseball. It's just we all get very frustrated with the sport.
Yeah.
I care about it. I have a passion for it.
So we saw Amazon come into the NFL landscape this year as far as buying up games and streaming rights for games, and starting next year, I believe the whole Thursday night slate you'll only be able to watch on Amazon. So if you don't have Prime, you're not going to be able to watch Thursday Night Football next year. This week, earlier in the week, MLB, it was announced that MLB and Apple are in talks for exclusive streaming rights deal.
Interesting.
So Apple is now entering the fray here with Major League Baseball. Good, bad, indifferent. What do you think? How's it going to impact the league itself? I know it'll be an infusion of cash, but most of baseball's money comes from your local TV rights deals. I don't know how that's going to affect the local markets and rights, and there's no indication on whether or not this will go into agreement. If it does, when it's going to start, how many games they'll get, et cetera, et cetera. But I mean, we saw ESPN do this with hockey. They got the hockey rights back, and instead of putting it on ESPN, they put it on ESPN Plus. So they'll have games on here and there, but for the most part, they're streaming games on ESPN Plus.
So will you still get your local games?
That's the thing. I don't know.
Yeah, see, that's what I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, because when you say Apple, I'm thinking like, yeah, you ain't getting shit, but
because there are some games like for the Penguins with, like Stu was saying, with the NHL and ESPN, there are some games that are blacked out locally that you have to watch on the app. But then there's a lot of games that are blacked out on ESPN, like on ESPN.
Because you have to watch it locally.
So you have to watch it on AT&T here.
I mean, your local game should always be free.
But that's where that like the old NFL rules were like that too. They was like, if the game's not sold out, it's going to be blacked out locally because you can go to the games because it's not sold out. So those games have to be sold out for them to watch it locally. Now stuff changed and everything, so I'm not sure. But in my opinion, I think that any local team, like like baseball, basketball, hockey, stuff like that, all local games should be for the locally people should be free.
Yeah,
no matter what. Like they should show them on TV. Then nationally, they should be on the apps and all that stuff. Yeah. But whatever two teams are playing, that both local cities should get them.
So my thing with this is right. I got Comcast as my cable provider, right? Because of Comcast, in order to watch local games, I have to pay for a sports package in my Comcast cable bill.
For just for baseball?
In general, for anything local, you're paying. If you look on your Comcast bill, you're getting charged each month for a local sports package in order to watch your local sports. So you're not double dipping into my wallet and making me pay twice to watch the same games. Like I'm gonna pick and choose what I'm gonna go with. So Do I sign up for Apple TV and pay the subscription in order to watch baseball? But in general, if you're a baseball fan locally, like how many games are they going to get? I know there's 100. Each team plays 162 games, so they can divvy up the pie accordingly. But yeah, you're getting close to the point where I got to make a decision. Am I keeping this on as part of my cable package, or am I going to sign up and pay these streaming services each month in order to watch these games, regardless of sport, not necessarily just baseball, but sport in general? Because you're not going to take me for
you're not
double my money each month just to enjoy sports.
And then with Apple TV, is it going to be under the paywall of Apple TV Plus, or will it just be available on Apple TV? Because that's two different things too.
That's another thing.
So it's like for people that like to watch stuff on their phone or their tablet, that's cool if they have an iPhone, iPad, or if you have like the Apple TV app on your smart TV or whatever player you use. That's cool, but if you're going to hide it behind that paywall, that's a whole other question there, like you're talking about, Steve. That's what I've been really been going with the past few months. Like I'm getting ready to get rid of Comcast and switch to YouTube TV. So it's like there's enough games on ESPN Plus and TNT for hockey that I can watch that, and there's enough YouTube TV gets enough sports channels that I can watch stuff when I want to watch it. But by doing that, I'm eliminating the local channel.
Yeah, you're eliminating your local. So any game on AT&T Sports Network here, you're not going to be able to watch.
No.
Well. If it comes down, go ahead, Jason.
Get an MLB Nickelodeon crossover.
That will be fun for baseball. For baseball, I think it will be fun.
Yeah,
because it will bring in
really interesting.
Yeah, because it will bring in the like the younger generation and that stuff. Because they say how baseball's slow and everything, and people don't know the rules. Do something like that, to get them interested into it. Yeah, because which game is it this week that's going to have the NFL with it?
Oh, they're starting that this week.
Yes, this week.
Okay,
it's one game. I forget which game it is, but
it's you can watch it. You can watch it on Nickelodeon, Amazon, and then whatever channel it's regularly on. And I forget the game that they're doing it with this week.
But it is this week.
Yeah, I enjoyed. I turned on bits of the Nickelodeon broadcast last year from the NFL because I just wanted to see what they were going to do with it, and I enjoyed it. Like the way they laid it out, the way they explained the rules, the way
teaches
they
the game, everything.
Adding the Nickelodeon touch with the slime and the graphics, and Cannon shooting off in the end zone and everything else when touchdowns were scored. Like I enjoyed that, and if I was a 6, 7, 8-year-old kid, like that's where I would go to watch. Just like how I tune into the Manning Cast on ESPN2 to watch Monday Night Football because I like the presentation and what I'm able to learn and everything else. So. Yeah, baseball wouldn't be bad to get into some sort of programming like
something,
like the NFL
But baseball has so many problems with itself. It's unbelievable. Yeah. So that's the last thing on their mind. And speaking of the Manning Cast, Sunday Night Baseball is doing the same thing with A-Rod and somebody else, and they got a couple games. I think 8 games or something. Yeah.
Are they as interesting as Eli and Peyton?
So my initial thoughts on this. I think A-Rod will be 10 times better doing this than what he was on Sunday Night Baseball.
Yes. Yes, for sure. Yeah.
Now, whether or not who he's paired up with, I
forget who he is. Yeah.
How that dynamic's going to work, I don't know. Are they going to try to run the same format as Peyton and Eli with having guests on during the game and everything else? None of that's been fleshed out or put out there yet, but I think A-Rod will be way more entertaining watching him on this than he was on Sunday Night Baseball, because I couldn't deal with him on Sunday Night Baseball. Just did nothing for me at all. So, all right, cool. That's this weekend sports. Hit us up. Let us know your predictions for the NFL playoffs. What we got right, what we got wrong. Enjoy the games this weekend if you're watching, and let's get into the world-renowned, world-famous, where I whoop ass every week. One gotta go. Go ahead, Chris. Your week, so you can kick it off and explain what you got for us this week.
Yep, I got stuff for this week. But before we get into that, last week, Steve, you did winter activities. We ran our polls this week, and skiing, snowboarding, gotta go.
I figured that one would be the one. One, just because of the cost, and two, if you're like me, if you're going to a ski lodge, you're not skiing or snowboarding, you're drinking in the lodge. So,
Bunch of damn ice skaters out here.
All right, so up this week. Whoa.
Production
Technical difficulty.
Glitch in the system.
So this week for one,
those were the
we got-
Kevin Dunn camera cuts.
We're gonna do Chewy Candy. So these are actually the top 4 best-selling Chewy Candy in order: Skittles, then Starburst, then Sour Patch Kids, and then Haribo Gold Bears.
This is an easy choice for me. Gold Bears got to go.
Huh?
Gold Bears got to go. Get them off the list.
You're a terrible take. You lost already.
They're horrible. Out of these 4, they're absolutely horrible. I don't get gummy bears, gummy worms, whatever. Get it off the list. See you bye. Not interested at all. Skittles, there's so many options and flavors. I'm more of the smoothie Skittle guy compared to the original Skittle pack myself. Starburst, I'll crush a pack of Starburst, especially the all pink ones. And Sour Patch Kids, especially Sour Patch Watermelon Kids, that may be the best candy out there. So yeah, Haribo Gold Bears. Commercials are lame. Candy's lame. Get them off the list.
Terrible take. Terrible take. One, peach rings are top tier. They're god of this list. So
They didn't even make the top 4. Nobody buys them.
They're not even up there.
Your take's wrong right there. Nobody buys them.
they are A1. But
This isn't your personal list.
I'm just telling you. I'm just letting you know.
Backed by sales data, by the buying power of the American consumer. Peach rings is like 9,772 as far as how many people buy them.
I'm an expert. I always have candy on me.
Again, another
Peach
candy
rings.
that's not on the list. You hold up a pack of Nerds, and
Top.
Nerds is not available on this list.
Top. I'm just telling you what's top. But as for the list, Starburst got to go.
What?
What?
Because everything else is individual. You can pour in your hand, pop it in your mouth. Starburst, you got to fool with a wrapper. That's too much time on my hands. I don't need that. It's gone.
Wow.
Talk about horrible.
Well, they have
taste.
Starburst bites where you can just grab them by the handful and pop.
Yeah,
them
they-
out.
yeah, they do have
They're
those.
not
Oh,
as
yeah,
good, but
Then you had to make a separate candy. Starburst bites ain't on the list. Starburst. Gotta go.
Wow.
Starburst gotta go.
You know how many times I ate paper because of Starburst? And now
You didn't, but you didn't take them off right.
I'm sure you ate worse.
as
And
a
that
fat
paper-
kid with little patience.
And that paper dissolved, so you're fine.
Yo, mute his mic. He showed up late yesterday. He's giving out terrible takes today about
On an
Starburst.
optional show.
He's talking about candies that aren't even on the list. Like, the next thing you know, he's going to say Kowtow is the greatest candy of all time. That's not on the list either.
Two weeks, Jason will be giving us Jason's favorite 4 candies.
Yes, he would.
None of them gotta go.
Donald,
For
what
me,
you got,
Skittles is
Donald?
probably one of my
Oh.
favorite candies of all time. And Starburst, so I could eat those. Go all the time. Sour Patch Kids, big fan. Steve, like you said, I actually like gummy bears and gummy worms and all that stuff, but I don't think Haribo gummy bears are very good. So I think they're probably the worst ones out of all the gummy bears. So for me, Haribo Gold Bears got to go.
Sour Patch is number 1 candy for me of all time. I mean, there's nothing replacing that. Skittles and Starburst, they're basically the same for me. The Gold Bears, Haribo Gold Bears, that's the stuff you find in the corner of the carpet in your room and that stuff. That shit is disgusting, nasty, old out, played out. Gummies just in general are terrible. Sorry.
Unless they're
Gold Bears
edible
gotta go.
gummies, then it's a different story.
We gotta go. Yeah.
Can't
Haribo.
wait for the numbers to come back next week, boy.
Well, I can't wait to come
Oh,
back.
yeah,
boy.
you're
They're gonna be wrong.
usual.
Y'all took off the OG, the original.
Another one.
Never heard of what?
Go gummy
You've
bears.
never heard of the gummy bears. There you go.
Jeez. The worst one on the list.
You heard it.
The only
Come
gummy bears you heard
It
of
ain't
were the
gummy
Disney
bears.
characters. That's it.
Where did you scroll up to find that, Chris? That's a wrestling topic. What do you want?
So as always, tell Jason he's wrong and we're right. Especially with the man that is the resident snack guru. He came up with just the worst take ever.
Snack
right
guru. You said it yourself. Snack God, they say. Call me what you
now.
will.
No, you know what you're
Snack God, you're saying to Guevara.
Call me
You
what you
calling
will.
yourself this?
Snacks.
Hold on, you calling yourself the snack god is me calling himself the wrestling god.
I don't call
It's
myself
not-
Snack God. They call me the
it's
Snack
not
God.
gonna work, okay, not,
I call myself Jimmy
Who
Sprinkles.
calls you?
not-
Who calls you?
it's terrible.
They call me.
I'll pull up the receipts.
Bring them on next week.
Terrible. Terrible.
He said I call myself Jimmy Sprinkles. They call me the snack god.
Sprinkles. All right. See, terrible. I'm not even dealing with you right now, dude. Terrible. All right, let's get into final thoughts. Wrap up the show.
Oh,
All right, boys and girls, thanks for tuning in to episode 69 of the Dumb Marks podcast. Before we send things home, just a couple things. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you get notifications when we go live. Like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dumb Marks Pod. And don't forget that our audio-only edition of the show is available on demand on all your favorite podcast platforms. And support the show by telling a friend and also purchasing our official merch at prowrestlingtees.com/dumbmarkspod. Gentlemen, anything else left in final thoughts?
yes.
Don't forget
go ahead,
hold
Pete.
on, Donald. Before you do that, I want to continue the shameless plugs that we got here. Email the show, dumbmarkspod@gmail.com. Go over to Pro Wrestling Tees, pick up some merch, prowrestlingtees.com/dumbmarkspod. Go ahead, Donald.
Thanks for tuning in, man.
Oh, thank
Thanks
you.
for tuning
Oh,
in.
hold on.
Yes.
You gotta
The whole
stick
show.
around. Wait,
The whole
you gotta
show.
stick
Thanks for
around
tuning
for
in.
you gotta stick around for the quote of the week. We leave off the show with some positivity, even though we banter back and forth and bitch and moan. We send everybody home happy with some positivity to lead into the week. So if you want to stick around for that in a few minutes, we'll get that rattled off to you. Go ahead, Donald.
I got 5 gaming topics and 1 entertainment. My first entertainment, like I said last week, Attack on Titan premiered on Sunday. They actually had 5 million views of the first episode on the first day, and actually had 10 million in the first 3 days. So WWE wish they could have those numbers, right? For video game wise, Microsoft is discontinuing the Xbox One at the end of the month. So no more Xbox Ones will be produced or sold. So everything got to be used if you want one. Sony's actually going the other route. They are making more PS4 Pros because of the microchip shortage for the PS5s. So the PS5s are built, but they just have no chips in them.
Mm-hmm.
The Nintendo Switch became Nintendo's most successful selling console, overtaking the Wii this past week. Twisted Metal is actually coming back for PS5. They just switched their developers midway through the development process. They said the developer really is not doing the way they want to, and they found a first party company to do it because they said they want to make it right, or the whole franchise will be lost. So expect Twisted Metal to come back sometime within the next few years. And for the final thing, someone stole a copy of Horizon Forbidden West, the new Horizon game coming out. They stole a copy for PS4. They said it looks very good on the PS4, so you just can imagine what the PS5 looks like. And they just been sending screenshots, gameplay, spoilers all over the internet. So if you want the game, try to stay off the internet, off the gaming websites.
Terrible.
So you won't be spoiled. And that's all I have.
Tom, you were talking about the Switch, so they just recently came out with that OLED model. Does that get
Yes.
factored into those numbers too? Do you know? Or
I think they do.
okay.
Yes, I think it does. Mm-hmm.
Right.
So yep.
Jay,
So I think it's the for their best selling consoles. It's the Switch, it's the Wii, and it's the Game Boy Color. So not even the Super Nintendo is up there, which is shocking.
Sounds
Jay,
like one gotta
Christy,
go.
one of you guys got final thoughts?
Unfortunately, we had a couple entertainment losses the past few weeks. With Betty White at the end of 2021 and Bob Saget this week. There's going to be a lot of stuff this weekend. So I know I saw a lot of channels are going to be running some Golden Girls marathons, some Betty White's movies. I think I saw America's Funniest Home Videos is going to run something Sunday night, like a tribute to Bob Saget. So some content to watch out there this weekend. especially if you're going to be stuck inside with snow.
Yeah, up here in the east, we're gonna get pounded potentially anywhere from 4 to 18 inches. You gotta love being a weatherman. Like,
I know. You just throw stuff out there and keep your job.
yeah, the only job where you can be wrong 99% of the time and still keep it. It's unbelievable. So in that regards, I don't have nothing else to wrap up the show this week other than a beautiful quote here from Betty White herself. And she said, I always find the positive. It takes up too much energy being negative. Always find the positive. It takes up too much energy being negative. Cut that negative energy out from your life this year. Roll with the positive. So Jason will probably be X'd out of this show moving forward. So with that being said, thanks for tuning in this week. As always, we love you guys. Appreciate the follows. Hit us up on social media. You'll catch us throughout the week doing different things on Twitter Spaces and that of the sort. And I'm a Mark, you're a Mark, tell a Mark. And until next time, y'all can catch us around the way.